Hey, what up guys? I thought I'd do a quick video this evening just to sort of tie up a couple loose ends. Those of you who've been following me know that I've taken all the running gear out of that 2004 RX8 and I've moved it into this one. So that was a 6-speed manual from factory with a 6-port Renesas 13B. This was a automatic from factory with a 4-port Renesas 13B. So I got rid of all the crap out of here. I took everything from there and put it in here. Now, other than the fact that that is a huge task, Mazda likes to screw you over just that little bit more, and they make this car incredibly difficult to do a conversion with from a computer standpoint. So if you know much about the conversion and how to do it, there's a few forum posts that show you how to do it. You need to move the computer, the ABS pump, the dash cluster, and the clutch pedal and all that other shit. But you got to move all of that across into this vehicle. And then you're going to take your key, which came with this car, and you're going to put it in and you're going to turn it, and it's not going to work. And then you're going to take the key from that car and you're going to put the key blade on this key and you're going to stick it in and you're going to try and start it again. And it's also not going to work. And the dash immobilizer light, that stupid car with a key in it, is just going to keep flashing at you and drive you nuts like it did for me. And many, many hours of frustration, yelling and screaming. Why? Okay, because there's one thing in the tutorial online that was not included about how to do this conversion, and that's how to get around some of this stupid nonsense. Not only do you need the computer, the ABS pump, the dash, you also need, oh, and the key, you also need the keyless entry unit. Why do you need that? Okay, super simple. Well, ish. Because this key talks to 3 effing things. God knows why. It is the most unstealable car. When you put the key in the ignition and you turn it to the on position, the key, and I'm not going to get the flow diagram out, but in no particular order, it talks to 3 things. It talks to the keyless entry unit, it talks to the dash cluster, and it talks to the computer under the hood. And if any one of those 3 things does not line up to the key, it doesn't work. So from the donor car, you have to have the keyless entry unit, the computer, the ABS pump, the dash cluster, the clutch and all that other nonsense, and then this key from that car with the key blade from this car installed on it, because I didn't want to change the ignition barrel because it's got anti-tamper bolts, will physically turn to the on position and the immobilizer light will turn out. Now you've noticed I haven't said it will start, and that's because it won't start. I have officially fixed the immobilizer issue with all that nonsense. But don't ask me why, because I have no idea what is wrong with the harness in this thing. There's nothing physically wrong with the harness. It's just, I don't know why it's done this way. Anyway, the point is that even if you turn this to the start position, the starter won't turn over. You have to run a wire off of the barrel, off the key barrel, and then you got to run it down to the starter so that it will start. Most people, or people who are silly enough to do this, I shouldn't say most, will run it through their clutch pedal, because as you know, there's a switch in the clutch, so that the clutch pedal has to be depressed in order for the engine to start. Now, for some unknown reason, I don't have there's 2 switches on your clutch. There's one when the clutch is all the way up, and there's the other one, which is when the clutch is all the way down. I don't have the one when the clutch is all the way down. I don't know why. Someone just didn't install it. That car has been dicked with a lot before I had it. So I'm going to use this as an opportunity to probably install a kill switch somewhere. And essentially what that's going to do is it means that it's great, you can't steal my car. It's going to be even more unstealable. Not only do you need my freaking key, if you actually get my key, you're still not going to be able to start it because I'll have a hidden switch somewhere. So anyway, just wanted to share that. So first lesson learned, never, ever, ever do a manual conversion. Just don't do it. And if you are going to do a manual conversion, for whatever reason, stop and just don't do it, because it's just a huge headache. I have been working on this car non-stop for weeks, and I have only just today got it to turn over. And not even with the key. I've physically turned the barrel to the on position, climbed under the car, and used a piece of wire and a screwdriver. I'm a little bit more fancy than that, and started it that way. So just don't. But anyway, if you've done a conversion and you're crazy and you're like, why the hell doesn't it start? Well, the reason is because the immobilizer is shit, and you will need to have the immobilizer chip that matches the ECU, the dash cluster, and the keyless entry unit, which also, by the way, has nothing to do with this. And just for record, because I know there's a lot of people who are getting really confused about this, the whole insert the key, turn it on and off 3 times, and open the door on 3 times, and then click the button, that is just to enroll the keyless entry part of the key so that you can open the doors remotely. It has nothing to do with the Immobilizer chip. That can only be enrolled, I'm going to very loosely say can only be enrolled by Mazda, but that's a lie. It can be enrolled by someone who has the tools to do it. But the point is, the average end user, like even me, does not have the tool to enroll that. So you're going to need all that shit. And if you don't have all that stuff, give up. Just give up and buy a manual, because it's really just not worth the energy. Anyway, I just wanted to share that because I've spent many hours trying to figure that out. It is now 2 in the morning and I've just come to the end of that. So there you go. It's fixed. It sort of works now. And that's why.